Wow, rock on, man. Kelly Worden here in T-Town. Off the streets of T-Town and into the KLAY studio for another Rockin' Like No Other On the Edge radio broadcast. Hey, you know what? As usual in the world of Kelly Worden, life is an ever-changing and challenging experience. Over the last week or so, I had the great pleasure to share time with Jeet Kune Do legend Taki Kimura. Taki is Bruce Lee's oldest and longest time lifetime friend. Recently, Taki turned 90 years young and is truly a testament to the benefits of living life through the martial arts. Additionally, my beautiful wife, Vivian, and I also had the opportunity to spend time with Bruce Lee's wife, Linda Lee Caldwell. As a matter of fact, you know, and in all honesty, it goes without saying what an amazing woman Linda is and how she's been instrumental in sharing Bruce Lee's life and his history and all the things that he donated and achieved in such a short lifespan. Bruce Lee died at 32, but still today, Linda brings those stories of Bruce Lee to life with her daunting schedule and personal appearances that go throughout the world. As a matter of fact, April coming up, 4th or 5th, Taki is leaving for Hong Kong, 90 years old, flying out to Hong Kong on Thursday, doing a workshop Saturday and Sunday, and coming back to Seattle on Monday. I mean, I'm telling you, really, if you get me into Hong Kong or over to China, I'm staying there till they throw me out or they run out of rice, whichever one is first, man. Hey, you know what? We got a great show today. A longtime friend, good friend of mine, Mike Vellekamp, owner of Fox Knives and very unique knife designer who has earned his right in the knife industry over the last couple of years, man. Came out of nowhere. Well, not really, but we'll play that story, all right? He came out of nowhere, young, energetic, motivated, dynamic, and created a name for himself. And that's really the U.S. world dream, man. That's what America is about, creating your own dream. On top of that, a close friend of his that I had the pleasure of meeting yesterday, and that is Lad Mandiola, right? Did I get that? Yeah, cool, man. You know, that's one of the things. I'm always on the edge, and, you know, pronunciations ain't one of my key features here. But, you know, Lad is the owner of www.theultimateknife.com. And they're here today to share a little bit of what's going on with them in the knife industry and, you know, personal things. We're just going to jump into the show right now. Hey, Mike. Hey, Lad. How you guys doing? Bring it on in.
Hey, doing great, Kelly. Happy to be on the edge.
Cool.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, yeah, no worries. Welcome to the Northwest. I'm glad we gave you sunshine, right? Where are you from, Lad?
Houston, Texas.
Yeah, sure. I mean, this is just beautiful weather for you then, right?
Absolutely. It's raining there, too.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. Well, this is a little bit more extreme. You know, it's supposed to be April showers bring May flowers, but we've been getting March rain, too, and it was actually a fairly mild winter. I imagine there's a lot of snow up in the mountains right now, and when all that melts, we're going to have more flooding and more problems. But
we have to call our buddies back at Spyderco to check on the snow.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, hey, you know, let's jump in happening with Mike because one of the key things that brings Lad up here to the Northwest is the Fox Karambit. Mike, so tell us a little bit about how you came up with that concept or that idea, or where it was formulated.
Well, actually, we got to thank Lad in a really big part for that, because we had a Karambit that we were already selling pretty well here in the U.S., which is made in Italy, obviously, from the Mandiola Fox factory. And it was called the 479. And the 479 was a little bit larger. And when we started working with Lad, he came up with this whole concept of shortening the model and making it a little more comfortable for, you know, the guys with the mid to smaller size hands. That seemed to work a little better. And so I'll let him take off. He actually kind of came up with the whole idea of resizing the thing, and just with a few design changes, we came out with something that seems to work really well for a lot of folks.
Right on. Cool. Well, hey, Lad, are you a martial arts practitioner?
Not entirely. I do take some classes every now and then and again.
Yeah, sure. Well, then what motivated the change?
Well, what motivated the change, actually, I started reading some books back in 2004. I read a book from Robert Kiyosaki, and it wasn't the more popular book. It was actually one of his worst bought books, but I loved. It was called Prophecy. And it really talked about the demise of our dollar and where things were going to be heading back in 2008. But I found this stuff out back in 2004 when he wrote the book and published it back in 2002. And I felt like I was already too late. I said, oh, my gosh, I got 4 years to to get ready for I don't know what's coming, you know. And then
our demise.
Yes. And so afterward, I looked in. Well, we were doing real estate anyway. My wife and I were buying houses, flipping homes, as well as buying and purchasing homes for, for rentals, for cash flow purposes. But when we saw what was coming, we decided to move from New York, because that's where we, resided at the time in Peekskill, New York. And we moved to Houston because I used to take one of these real estate courses. And I went to one of these classes down in South Florida. And after I talked to about 60 different people from around the country, Houston seemed to be the mecca for real estate, and it was doing well, while all these other places were just at a stalemate for sales. Nothing was going on. So I told my wife we're moving, and we did. And from that point forward, I started looking into a program that Robert did called PERT. It's P-E-R-T. It was Prepare, Evaluate, Review, and Transition. And it's actually thinking the opposite of, well, how do we get a business started? Well, the way that PERT program worked is we have a successful business. What was the steps that we took before that? And so that's what I did. And immediately what came to mind was, preparation. Because I'm thinking if we're going to be coming into this financial collapse, whenever this happens, I want people to be, empowered to protect their households. Because people are going to, start robbing.
Sure.
That's what happens. We don't ever go after our government. We always go after each other's neighbors first and steal from them. And that's unfortunate, but that's just how the mind thinks, And so what I was thinking about was home security and personal protection products. Well, the home security market is pretty much saturated, and the profit from that was like little to nothing. So I really started looking at other options. And at the Houston Gun and Knife shows at the George R. Brown Convention Center, where I used to go once a month to sell, products, of like kind, wanted to buy, either rifles or flank, I kept on whipping out. And it was actually a fox knife, and I didn't know what a Karambit knife was. I had no clue. And this was about 5 years ago. So I do my own research. I'm kind of one of the guys, and I'll get online and I'll spend gobs of hours doing my research. And I come to find out why that knife works so well. And it was because of this waved feature. And I didn't know it was patented.
Sure.
But I just knew it was on the knife. And I found out later on by watching some videos on YouTube that Fox Knives out in Italy worked out a deal with Emerson Knives.
Yeah, Ernie Emerson.
And so, they utilized his patent feature because they sought that, advice from him. Hey, can we use it? Because we have the Italian Special Forces really likes our Karambit knife, but they would love to use that Emerson patent wave feature that you have on there. Can we use it? And so Ernest said, yeah, sure. So they worked out their deal, got that going. And then I started looking at the price. That's what caught my eye. And, I used to watch a show called Pitchman and Billy Mays.
Oh, yeah, sure.
That guy to me was an inspiration.
Billy Mays,
yeah.
That's right.
So I got known as Billy Mays without the cocaine because I'm one of those kind of sales guys.
Rock on, dude. Rock on. Rock on, Billy. Hey, everybody's got to do their thing.
But anyway, I took Ernest Emerson's product, and I became a reseller for them. I also became a reseller, and that's how I got to meet Mike. And I asked for samples, and he gave me a few samples along with the Karambit knife. And I tested these things out. I beat the crap out of these knives, and these things were holding up. I said, wow, these are just great quality products. And so when I looked at Ernest Emerson's product, and I never did it versus, another company's.
Right,
I just looked at what is the quality differences, and I couldn't find any. And I love both companies equally. I love both companies' knives just the same. I can't pick one over the other. It's just that the price was different.
Sure,
and so
sure.
I really wanted to meet that price point for the consumer and say, hey, here's another alternative.
Right. Well, Ernie earned his reputation through hard work and establishing his name. As a matter of fact, that's interesting because Ernie goes back to the days of Fighting Knives magazine. I don't know if you've researched that much, but Greg Walker was the editor of that. That was the founding magazine before Full Contact magazine. And through Full Contact magazine, we changed the face of martial arts, the whole industry, in a relatively short time. And when that magazine went defunct, and we can go into why and how, but basically it was a spotted owl, and, you know, the lack of paper. But, you know, Fighting Knives and Full Contact Magazine were Larry Flint publications. So we had slick paper. So we were the first martial arts magazine coming out in full color. And that blew people's minds. And that forced Inside Kung Fu and Black Belt, all other martial arts publications, to get out of the newsprint and bring it up right up to the top level. And that's what martial arts magazines are today. Thanks to Greg Walker. Thanks to Larry Flint Publications, of all things. Easy Rider, all those things. Hot chicks, big boobs, I don't know. He had so many magazines. It was crazy. But Fighting Knives, literally, Ernie credits Fighting Knives to the exposure that Fighting Knives magazine did to bring him into the knife industry in a big, big way, as well as Benchmade and Spyderco. And so Greg Walker did a lot, you know, politics and animosities. Everybody's jealous of other people. But when it really kind of comes down to brass tacks and the things that happen, man, Fighting Knives was right there on the cutting edge industry. You know, Mike, getting back to that, I imagine this had to be kind of exciting for you. Being in the knife industry, martial arts and everything, sometimes it's hard to find a guy like Ladd. Man, I'm telling you, he's got me jumping and jumping. Very exciting dude. He's a motivated guy. He's a thinker. Sometimes that's all it takes to get you over the edge. And we're on the edge, so tell us about it.
Yeah, it is. Ladd is really exciting. He's got a lot of enthusiasm, and like he said, he's the Billy Mays without the cocaine. I don't know. Maybe that was a powdered donut, but he's got to be on something. Way too much energy.
Yeah, but he's laid back, man. He's just like, nothing happening right now. And then as soon as he's
been
on,
awesome. Yeah. It's been awesome, and I love working with people with high energy too, because they keep me going. They, you know, you get stagnant in the day-to-day stuff, and it's just great to have high energy people that keep you on the mark.
Wow. It sounds like they're bringing the Maseratis around front. Ladd apparently has got a couple hot cars for us. So we're going to go roaring around T-Town after the show. But right now we're going to take a quick break. KLAY 1180 on the edge. And this is Kelly Worden. We'll be right back. Ready for anything? You will be if you visit my friends at SchomerTech.com. SchomerTech offers merchandise for anyone seeking cutting-edge products in today's unpredictable times. SchomerTech also carries law enforcement and military products. And if you want on-the-edge technology, check out SchomerTech's electronic surveillance equipment, as well as cool stuff like spy gear and the voice-disguising telephone voice transformer. Bottom line, if SchomerTech don't have it, you don't need it. Check them out at SchomerTech.com. Do you live life on the edge? Check out Phalanx Systems body armor for military, police, and serious civilians. Phalanx is the body armor for the real world. Body armor that does exactly what it's supposed to do, save lives, your life and your family's. Check out their amazing products at www.phalanxsystems.com. PhalanxSystems.com. Speaking of on the edge, you need to check out GATCO, the Great American Tool Company. The Great American Tool Company specializes in precision-made, high-performance knives, tools, and sharpeners. Whether you are camping, hunting, fishing, or surviving, outdoors or in the kitchen, GATCO has the knives, tools, and sharpeners to do the job right. Check out their online store at www.gatcosharpeners.com. That's gatcosharpeners.com. Feeling the pain and drain of everyday life or an accident? You can't change the past, but you can stabilize your life. That's where Mike Summers and his Perfect Balance treatments assist in bringing you full circle. Eliminating the pain cultivates your desire to enjoy life again. Don't suffer another day. Give Mike Summers a call at 253-759-6803 and find your perfect balance. That's 253-759-6803. Just tell Mike Kelly sent you. That's right, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, Mike Summers, serious guy there, you know. I mean, if you got aches and pains, and I do, you know, I crashed my Harley in 2011, and I'm still suffering from that. I was a full speed, get it on, go for it hard martial artist, training special forces, black op guys, and, you know, that put an end to that. Human body bouncing off a truck, and 3 years later, almost, I'm still, going to see Mike Summers and other people and trying to get rid of the trauma, teaching through it. Last week I was at Taki Kimura's and had 35 guys there. We went through a great workout. I gave Taki one of my silent fighter training dummies as a birthday present. He couldn't even believe it. Why are you giving it to me? Because you're 90 years old. And of course I told all my students, hey, when you guys turn 90, I'm going to give you one too, So, hey, you know what? Is personal safety a concern? It should be. In life, we prepare for almost all potential threats and obstacles, from personal health to financial stability. It's time to invest in you and your family's personal safety. Top Tacoma personal trainer and body transformation expert Jeff Jowers of Jowers Training Center is now offering a 2-day personal protection program for family self-defense. I'll be teaching that program. This dynamic program is fun, direct, and functional. Empower yourself and your family. Attend the upcoming personal protection program at Jowers Training Center at 309 Puyallup Avenue, May 3rd and 4th, 2014. Sign up today by calling 253-234-4348 or on the web at www.jowerstraining.com. That's 253-234-4348. I guarantee your family will be better off for giving them some personal safety protection training. All right, cool, man. We're back with Mike and we're back with Lad Mandiola. Sorry, Lad. I'm on the edge, and that's where it is. I'm not now, never have been a professional radio announcer. So, hey, moving on. Lad, when you made that transition and you approached Ernie to use the wave, how was that? Ernie's really a personable guy,
Well, I'll say this. I'm not the one that approached him on it. It was actually the guys out in Italy, the owners from Fox, Gabriella and Massimo and Oreste. They approached him and asked for that permission. And this was before I even came on the scene.
Oh, okay.
I just discovered the knife.
Yeah.
After the fact.
Oh, yeah, okay.
The thing is
so the dude flipping it open at the knife shop.
That's what
already had the way.
That got to me.
Yeah, and then you resized it from there? Is that the idea?
What happened was I started building a relationship with Mike Vellekamp, and I asked Mike, I said, Mike, I'm trying to build something here, and I'm actually going to be moving on from the one website that I have. I want to create something exclusive, and I have this great idea. It's going to take me probably about 4 to 8 weeks before I can come up with something and be done with it. And if I do this, would you allow me to have exclusivity just for 6 months, just for this knife? And of course, Mike was like, well, I don't know.
Hell no. Yeah.
So,
that was tough enough to get married and offer your wife exclusivity. But hey, let's go back to the knife.
But anyway, what happened afterwards was I showed him the website. We entitled it The Ultimate Knife. Somebody bought Ultimate Knife. So
I seen that. I went looking for it, and I went, this ain't it. It takes me nowhere.
Yeah.
And then I punched in The Ultimate. Everybody needs to go in there and check this out. It's a great website. I'm not sure who's doing it. Maybe we're going to get to the bottom of that. But www.theultimateknife.com. That's the place to look, man. He's got some great deals. Great information, newsletter, videos, all kinds of stuff, and I want to share that because I think that it's kind of I hate to say it because I've got my own videos and my own website, but it is a one-stop shop for the person looking for some very specific things. So you've done a great job there. And who does the website?
Well, the website, actually, I work with BigCommerce. They're the online company that I use. And BigCommerce.com is really great. It's a group from Australia that came over, and they actually reside in Austin, Texas. But they have about maybe 30 to 40,000 customers. Clients that utilize their e-commerce system. And so I use them, and then I use an affiliate from them that actually helped me because I'm a graphic designer by trade, and they helped me to co-design my website, and it was EY Studios. So it's EYstudios.com. Great website. If you ever guys want to look and get into a website, get finished, I mean, you got to get on their site. It's really
I would definitely like to upgrade my website. And I've got some great ideas for you, too, since you're selling personal protection products. I've got some friends that got some amazing products out there that, maybe don't get the exposure that they need, So, what else is happening? I know you carry other knives, but you guys want to stay on top of let's stay on top of the Karambit because you got a knife instructor Remind me who he is, Doug?
Doug Marcaida.
Yeah.
The thing is that when I took the knife and I wanted to redesign the knife to resize it from what you talked about before, I presented it to Mike, and Mike presented it to the Fraudy family, and then 11 months later we got the prototype, and I was really blown away. They did exactly to spec what I wanted.
Yeah, that's rare, huh?
That totally blew my mind. I was really excited. And, sales were okay, but my vision was to take it a little bit further and go beyond, radio advertising. I wanted to say, okay, YouTube, because that's where everything is. Everything's on YouTube. Yeah. And I want to do print production, but, circulation on print, even for me, I'm a 47-year-old guy, and I'm like, do I really turn to magazines? What do I typically do? And I look for information. I Google everything and I watch videos. That's all I do.
Okay.
So, and we're all a part of this YouTube generation. It doesn't matter what the age you are. I mean, we all watch YouTube.
Unfortunately, that's true.
So that's where I really wanted to go. And we found a tactical media group that helped us out to bring to life the knife in a way that I didn't think was going to get exposed, and it just totally blew everything out of the water. I was like, wow, I was really shocked at the quality of the videos that came out, and the media group that we worked with to get that done. There was a guy named Sean Tyler, because originally we wanted to use Ray D'Onaldo, but he was too busy, and he's got his own projects going on. But one of his students actually lived out in Canada, and the media group that we were using for this actually lives out in Canada. And so, ironically enough, I talked with this guy, Sean Tyler, and he's got his own dojo, Raging Tiger, himself. He's got his own, class, and he teaches everything, and he teaches Karambit knife fighting training. And so we decided to use him and did some really great videos. And in between that time, I also got to meet another guy that I was trying to keep in touch with, because as you're watching all these reference videos on YouTube, I kept on seeing this one guy pop up, Doug Marcaida. And I said, I got to get in touch with this guy, because I watched some of his videos, and this guy's like butter, man. He's smooth like butter.
Yeah.
Just really, really great. Communicates well on screen. And I said, if I can introduce him to this media group to get something done, I think we've got something really great here. So that's how I got introduced to Doug, and we've had a great relationship. It just kicked right off.
Yeah.
And we did a few videos so far together, and he's actually doing a gun versus knife series with this media group. So it's pretty interesting.
Wow, yeah. And he is a Filipino practitioner.
Yes.
I did a little bit of research last night. Trains in Paquita Tercia, a couple other family systems, that type of thing. And like you said, very smooth, very talented, amazing skill level. And it always inspires me. Martial arts and even the knife industry, it's based on jealousy and ignorance and arrogance and so many other things. And it's just refreshing. Yeah. I think the magazine did that for me too. It gave me contact with people worldwide. And, in a relatively short time, that magazine allowed me to be introduced and then also meet other people worldwide and just share those ideas and go, wow, you know what? He's just me at a different phase of time and life and all those things.
He was inspired by you.
Oh, wow, really?
Mike, he could not stop talking. He said, oh my gosh, Kelly Worden, are you kidding? I said he'd love to be a part of the show. He had family business he had to attend to today, but he was like, my gosh, he said, he's one of my heroes.
Oh, wow.
He is one of my big-time heroes. I've read so much about him. I watched his stuff. He said, man, I just learned so much from him. And so,
God, I'm an emotional guy. I was crying this morning to Whitney Houston, trying to dance slow with my wife. Hey, I don't want to give too much up. But on Saturdays, it's our day of bonding for the wife and I. I don't see her all week. Yeah. And, she starts playing YouTube, and man, I'm slow dancing, kind of doing the bump and grind. Just got out of the hot tub. Okay, well, let's go back to the Karambit. But wow, that's inspiring, because there again, I get excited when I see people move well, and he's not arrogant. He has just a great demeanor. Yeah, very, very personable. So you guys need to look him up. Do you have a website for Doug?
Actually,
something close. I mean, how do you spell Doug's last name?
Well, Marcaida, it's MARAIC. Hold on one second.
Yeah, no worries.
Don't be making stuff up.
That's right. Okay. I don't want to start doing that.
You're going to go to Doug Marcaida, and he's probably some other guy in a different industry.
It's Douglas or Doug Marcaida. It's MARCAIDA.
Yeah. Okay. You guys need to go check out his stuff, because
just Google his name.
Yeah, because he's really smooth. That's funny when you say Google his name and I punch in my name and I'm going, geez, But years ago with the magazine, I always go back to the magazine because it was my exposure to the rest of the world, and there's so much stuff out there. And I go, I can't believe they said that about me. I don't, these guys don't even know me, but sometimes I come off a little harsh, a little rough, a little, and there's some interviews out there where I get real personable with people, but, R-rated type stuff. But, it's just nice to see other practitioners out there sharing the art and, other people enjoying what it is they do. So, go ahead. Yeah.
I got his website. It's Rochester KLAY. So it's ROCHESTERKALI.com. Rochester, because he lives in Rochester, New York.
Oh, okay. Wow. New York. Yeah. I got some buddies over there. Tom Bolden actually is there. And I'll actually be in Villanova, Pennsylvania, June 19th, 20th, 21st, and 22nd, actually, for the Ramey Praces Modern Arnis Hall of Fame. And Ramey was my teacher. I'm sure Doug knows him. Ramey was an inspiration to many, many people worldwide, and a great tribute. The Hall of Fame will be instructors that shared with him. And Tom Bolden will be there, Doug Pierre, Dan McConnell, Michael Bates, Bong Sun Jornalis, Datu Jornalis. It'll be a great opportunity for people to get together. Maybe I can get Doug to come out and meet us, just come by and, hey, we'll do an On the Edge radio show at the Hall of Fame. Mikey, let's get you in here. You haven't had much to say. Fox Knives is going on. Yesterday, I was out there. This is kind of cool, guys. I've been working on my own knives. I'm kind of a hobbyist in making knives, and I took out my Bowie knife. And Mike, I took two of them out there. Actually, I had one hardened by, Ed Shemp. That's right, Ed Shemp, Spyderco maker and great designer, longtime friend. I've known Ed 40 years, I think. That's how old I'm getting to be. And then, of course, I had you harden one, and well, that one was in the oven or whatever. We started working on mine and kind of he helped me complete it. It was cool. I hear James Bond coming back in. Come on. Anyway, well, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be right back, all right, with Ladd and Mike. Kelly Worden on the Edge, www.klay1180.com. And I know Mike's going to have this recording available on his www.foxknivesusa.com. Is that right, Mike?
Yeah, we'll put it up on the Facebook, and we'll probably throw it on YouTube.
Yep, cool. So look for that after the show. Share it with your friends. We'll be right back on the Edge. Ready for anything? You will be if you visit my friends at SchomerTech.com. SchomerTech offers merchandise for anyone seeking cutting-edge products in today's unpredictable times. SchomerTech also carries law enforcement and military products. And if you want on-the-edge technology, check out SchomerTech's electronic surveillance equipment, as well as cool stuff like spy gear and the voice-disguising telephone voice transformer. Bottom line, SchomerTech don't have it. You don't need it. Check them out at SchomerTech.com. Do you live life on the edge? Check out Phalanx Systems body armor for military, police, and serious civilians. Phalanx is the body armor for the real world. Body armor that does exactly what it's supposed to do, save lives, your life and your family's. Check out their amazing products at www.phalanxsystems.com. PhalanxSystems.com. Speaking of on the edge, you need to check out GATCO, the Great American Tool Company. The Great American Tool Company specializes in precision-made, high-performance knives, tools, and sharpeners. Whether you are camping, hunting, fishing, or surviving, outdoors or in the kitchen, GATCO has the knives, tools, and sharpeners to do the job right. Check out their online store at www.gatcosharpeners.com. That's GATCOsharpeners.com. Feeling the pain and drain of everyday life or an accident? You can't change the past, but you can stabilize your life. That's where Mike Summers and his Perfect Balance treatments assist in bringing you full circle. Eliminating the pain cultivates your desire to enjoy life again. Don't suffer another day. Give Mike Summers a call at 253-759-6803 and find your perfect balance. That's 253-759-6803. Just tell Mike Kelly sent you. Rock on, KLAY 1180 listeners. You know, personal safety is a concern, and it should be. In life, we prepare for almost all potential threats and obstacles, from personal health to financial stability. You know what? It's time you invest in you and your family's personal safety. That being said, top Tacoma personal trainer and body transformation expert Jeff Jowers of Jowers Training Center is now offering a 2-day personal protection program for family self-defense. I'm going to be teaching that program. You need to come. This dynamic program is fun, direct, and functional. Empower yourself and your family. Attend the upcoming personal protection program at Jowers Training Center at 309 Puyallup Avenue, May 3rd, May 4th, 2014, of course. Sign up today by calling 253-234-4348 or on the web at www.jowerstraining.com. That's www.jowerstraining.com. Mike, Lad, we're back in the On the Edge radio show. So, Mike, we want to talk about what's happening up at Fox Knives. We were just talking about you helping me grind some knives. So,
right.
How'd you get into knife grinding? I know you were part of Spyderco's original team. Well, don't bring God into this. Just answer the question.
No, I think it was mostly God.
I know we say that sometimes. You know, eventually I've been confused with him because different girlfriends, even my wife, sometimes calls me God. It's like, oh God. And I'm like, okay, baby, it's all right.
Yeah, I'm convinced God's a woman and she's got a sense of humor. So.
Okay, well, that's good to know.
Yeah, you know, that was awesome having you in the shop and cutting the champagne bottle with the champagne saber. And,
Is that what you call
knife
it?
grinding. Yeah, that's another one of our top sellers. You know,
we'll talk about that for a second. What the heck is a champagne shaver?
Saber. Yeah.
Okay.
It's basically it's a French tradition, and it's basically made. It's a long saber type of sword looking knife. It has no edge on the bottom. The thickness on the bottom is about 80 thousandths or something. It's flat on the bottom.
It's pointed, man. And you could poke somebody with it.
You could poke somebody with it. But the main thing for it, people use it for weddings and all kinds of different ceremonial type traditional events. Huh. And now the Pierce County Sheriff's Department is using them for retiring officers. They used to have us engrave these tactical knives and stuff like that. And we showed them these beautiful champagne sabers with the tassel on the bottom and the beautiful wooden box. Yeah. And now we engrave all, the retiring officer badge number and badges and everything for Pierce County. They love it. Now that's the knife they buy. Huh. But it's basically, you have the weakest, most point on the bottle, and the contents are under pressure. And so you take, because of carbonation, and basically you hold the bottle in a way that has the seam from where the bottle was molded on top, and you follow it up to the lip on the neck of the bottle, and the contents cold and under pressure. When it hits that weakest, most point, it actually pops the entire top of the bottle off, leaving the part that came off with the cork on it and the part, the bottle parts completely smooth. You pour right out of the broken bottle. So it's great for weddings and all that stuff.
No chance of glass going down in there or anything?
No.
But it is, after you do that, you definitely want to pour from the bottle, right? Not just rip it up. Give me that bottle. I'll show you how to drink champagne.
I might have a little cut on my lip here from yesterday. But no, that was great having you in the shop. And I always love to do that, show people what I know about knife grinding. And I kind of came into it by way of necessity back at Spyderco.
Well, before we go there, how do you get that champagne cutter thing? The saber.
You can go to www.foxknivesusa.com and order them right there from us. Or you can call 253-845-5550, and you can actually talk to us. You can come in and meet with us.
So you mean if I'm going to be best man at somebody's funeral, not
whoa,
best man. Well, hey, I do celebrate death, life, and so on and so forth.
The same way.
If I was going to be best man at somebody's wedding, that would be a cool gift. That'd be a cool gift, and you stand up and. Being a knife guy, that would just blow people's mind.
It looks really cool.
I want to toast Mike, and pull out this big saber and pop that champagne bottle. And
it's dynamic. It's
guaranteed
awesome.
A clean cut, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's awesome.
And now, is that made here or in Italy?
It's made in Italy. Okay. Very, very well made in Italy. I mean, these things, you can see them. I mean,
cool
for whatever it is, somewhere around $100, $180 retail. you get a lot of
steel.
Yeah,
price per pound, if nothing else.
Well, it's a great conversation piece, and it's a great show piece too, just to display at home.
Sure.
And we do custom engravings on them. But yeah, you can call us, you can get on the website, or you can just come in to the retail shop and visit us.
Puyallup, man, it's easy to find.
Yeah.
I even found it. So
That's right.
without my GPS, so I found Mike out in the bush out there in Puyallup. But let's go to grinding. Back to Spyderco and your beginning.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, it kind of came from necessity, really. We didn't really have, all the custom knife makers that we were, meeting with and stuff, and they were doing stuff with Spyderco already as, for variety, the custom collaborations. I met some of these guys like Bob T and Frank Sinifani, and, these guys were grinding their own blades by hand, and it was something that just blew me away. I couldn't believe it. And then, after a while, I just started picking up scrap blades out of the scrap box and trying it, and after a few tries, I discovered that I actually was kind of talented for this kind of work. And, I don't believe when people say I'm self-taught. I taught myself how to do this. I'm self-taught. I always discourage people, and Sal taught me that no one is really self-taught, even though you believe you are, because you've taken something you've seen or that's been shown or taught to you and expanded on it. People get kind of a big ego going and believe they've taught themselves. So I won't say I'm self-taught, but I'll say I felt like I naturally had talent for it. And I like to show people what I do.
Sure. Well, I was excited when you gave me some kudos for my blade. I was like, well, it was just a piece of steel.
Yeah.
And actually, I've never bought a piece of steel. It's other knife makers that go, you need to do something, boy. Get busy. And, that type of thing. And so I just picked up that steel and started shaping it and designing it. And I go by feel.
Yeah, it's feel. It's all feel.
Yeah.
And it's, a blind guy probably has a better shot at grinding something pretty than someone that's got perfectly good eyesight, because it is feel. And you're basically, taking, you're making chicken salad out of chicken, what?
Right. Well, no, I don't know about all that, but, it is a gift. And, to be able to handle steel and then create something out of nothing. My wife is really impressed. I brought the knife home yesterday after we polished it up and put it together, and she was like, wow, this is cool. I was really excited because you were like, hey, this is a $2,000 blade every day.
Oh, yeah. And, I'm telling you, when you finish that thing, I might have to bid on it.
Okay. I appreciate that, man, because, and there again, I guess part of the value of that is people know me as a knife practitioner. So then making my own knife, it's it kind of creates the complete circle. It's an evolution of, create your tools and be I never call myself a master, but be a great presenter of your own craft.
You're a craftsman. You're a craftsman. Wow. We all are at our own craft. So. And I've got some new people that I'm training for a pretty special craft too for another project.
Actually, we're going to have Ken Onion in the studio in a week or two, a couple weeks, and he's working with you on a new knife project that's a little bit outside your usual box because you're a tactical knife guy or a folder kind of guy, and most people like to throw that tactical word in there, but it's personal carry. And so let's talk about the new knives that you're working with Ken Onion on.
Totally excited to be working with Ken. Ken is an awesome guy, and man, just when you think you know it all, you meet a guy that knows it all. Man, he made me feel in some ways like just completely awesome, the fact that I'm there working with him, and in other ways, oh my God, I'm so stupid I couldn't figure this out. But he comes with a lot of great knowledge. He's had great teachers too, obviously, and he taught me about, ways to craft some stuff and do some stuff that I wouldn't have otherwise, I don't think, learned, because like you said, I was kind of in that realm of just making the production folders and stuff. But this came about with the Chef Works kitchen cutlery line that was designed by Ken Onion, the Rain series. And, they have different, they've been sourcing these to different people that do different things as far as the blades and the etching and handles and, whatever. And they basically come back and we're finishing all of them.
Now they call it the Rain series because of the
it looks
pattern.
Like a rain pattern on the blade.
Raindrop. A lot of times there's a Damascus out called Raindrop. Right. But this isn't Damascus.
No, it's not Damascus.
Right?
It's and it's a nitrogen steel. It's great stuff. It's
now is that chromed or is it stainless? What is it?
No, it's stainless. And what they do is to get the rain pattern, you put a resist or like basically a paint, and they have it set up so that it basically trickles paint over on the blade so that it looks like, I hope I'm not giving away all the technology here, but been out for years.
It is what it is.
Anyway, basically what they do is they put a resist on there, all the places that you don't want to etch. And then where there's no resist, the blade goes into ferric chloride, and that actually eats the carbon out of the steel, and it leaves the part where you have the resist raised, and then you put a high polish on it. It really gives a nice contrast and gives a great pattern.
Well, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
and the knives are going to be available through Fox too?
Oh, no.
Oh,
no,
okay.
this is all OEM work. This all goes directly through Chef Works, but I'll tell you what, the quality of this stuff, just the quality parameters that we have to adhere to are amazing. It's, I got much respect for the fact that Ken is personally involved in the development and in the final finishing. Like you said, he's coming back up here. He was already here a couple weeks ago. He worked very extensively with me and the guys, showing us exactly how Ken Onion does this stuff at his own
Plus, we
place.
got some great stories, after the work thing.
I'm sure.
I can't remember, where's that place he wants us to go?
I don't remember.
But it's a trade secret,
but
there.
We got a whole new division now, just based on doing this kitchen cutlery line. We've got double the employees we had already. We've got a new building next door.
Yeah.
We've got a ton of. Oh, you've been there. You saw. We've got a ton of new equipment now. We're really getting amped up and ready to go on this thing full force. So right here in Puyallup, Washington. USA made. We're keeping stuff local. We're keeping money local. And hey, we gave a bunch of guys jobs that they didn't have a couple of weeks ago. So.
And you got some great guys out there, good employees. I really like Roland and name some of the guys. I mean, they probably listen.
Well, I have to say, I lean on all my guys pretty well because I got ADD, and that's like I said, one reason I like working with Ladd because of the energy. It keeps me going. You too, but. Harmony, my daughter.
Oh yeah,
I
she's
could
always
not
there.
do my job without her at all. I mean, she's there every day, answering the phones, keeping the emails going, purchase orders. I mean, it's a big job for a small crew.
Sure.
Roland, handling all the OEM stuff, all the purchase orders as far as getting raw materials in, and the steel.
Dating the boss's daughter.
Yeah. Dating my ass. He better marry her. You hear that, Roland?
That's a good one.
Or I'll be the best man at your funeral.
Yeah, there you go. We'll be toasting that with champagne.
No, you got to love him. And I lean on Thurlow and Kenny, too. And all the guys, man. They're all there. They're my right-hand guys, all of them.
Right on. This is Kelly Worden with Ladd Mandiola and Michael Vellekamp. We'll be right back on the edge. KLAY 1180. .com1180.com, KLAY1180.com. That's it. Yep. I'm a little ADD too, and don't really know what that means. Somebody needs to explain that to me one of these days. But in the meantime, let's go on break. Talk to you in a minute. KLAY 1180. Ready for anything? You will be if you visit my friends at SchomerTech.com. SchomerTech offers merchandise for anyone seeking cutting-edge products in today's unpredictable times. SchomerTech also carries law enforcement and military products. And if you want on-the-edge technology, check out SchomerTech's electronic surveillance equipment, as well as cool stuff like spy gear and the voice-disguising telephone voice transformer. Bottom line, if SchomerTech don't have it, you don't need it. Check them out at SchomerTech.com. Check out Phalanx Systems body armor for military, police, and serious civilians. Phalanx is the body armor for the real world. Body armor that does exactly what it's supposed to do, save lives, your life and your family's. Check out their amazing products at www.phalanxsystems.com. PhalanxSystems.com. Speaking of on the edge, you need to check out GATCO, the Great American Tool Company. The Great American Tool Company specializes in precision-made, high-performance knives, tools, and sharpeners. Whether you are camping, hunting, fishing, or surviving, outdoors or in the kitchen, GATCO has the knives, tools, and sharpeners to do the job right. Check out their online store at www.gatcosharpeners.com. That's GATCOsharpeners.com. Feeling the pain and drain of everyday life or an accident? You can't change the past, but you can stabilize your life. That's where Mike Summers and his Perfect Balance treatments assist in bringing you full circle. Eliminating the pain cultivates your desire to enjoy life again. Don't suffer another day. Give Mike Summers a call at 253-759-6803 and find your perfect balance. That's 253-759-6803. Just tell Mike Kelly sent you. Right on, right on, right on. Kelly Worden here on the edge. You know, I mentioned it once before, but I'm going to mention it again. You know, I got an upcoming workshop down at Jowers Personal Training Center. Okay, that's down at 309 Puyallup Avenue. This is May 3rd and May 4th, and we're going to just be teaching practical self-defense. Now, this is for men, women, and serious young adults. Okay, so everybody needs self-defense. You know, we as adults, we can control our environment, but a lot of times our kids can't, our children can't. And self-defense begins with awareness and common sense and knowing that there's people out there that want your money, that want to harm you. And those are real concerns. As a matter of fact, that's one of the reasons Ladd opened up his business. And we're chatting with Ladd right now. He's got some other products that I really wanted to talk about. He's got a cool flashlight he just shared with us. And, you know, flashlights aren't just for visual appearance. They are one of the top self-defense, less lethal products out there on the market, and there's some great ones. So, Ladd, let's go there. What kind of flashlight is that?
We have a few different flashlights that we sell on our site, and we worked with a couple of other companies, but we decided to switch over to Claris right now because Claris, they actually have a dual patented switch on the back of their flashlight, and they have the dual switch actually works where you can actually press on just the bottom part of the flashlight, like I'm doing right now. Can't see it though. It's immediate strobe.
Trust me, it's strobing in here, guys. Yeah. It's strobing,
and this is what you want. You need immediate action, and I'm one of these people that want to get something out fast. You know, that's the reason why I like the Karambit knife, because I believe it's one of the fastest knives you're going to find for one-handed deployable purposes.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Same thing with the flashlight. I wanted to find something that I didn't have to switch through, because a lot of flashlight companies, you have to press and switch till you finally get to the strobe. By that time, you've already been assailed and pummeled on already. Yeah. So, and I was looking for something really quick. And when I found this, I said, wow. And for the price, and I beat the crap out of this thing. And this thing still holds up. One of the most popular models that we sell is the XT11 from Claris. And the XT11 goes for $89.95. And I'm not kidding you. It's just as good as I've seen with any Surefire flashlight that sells for $200.
Yeah.
And I'm not kidding you. This flashlight is just amazing.
Sure.
So I really trust the quality of the product. And I mean, the thing puts out a blazing 820 lumens.
Yeah.
And they use a Cree, I think it's a Cree XML2 U2 LED. And I do a lot of research as well, as I kind of know a little bit about the Cree company. They put out a variety of LEDs, and they're really one of the most trusted names out there for LED flashlights.
Yeah, trust me, folks, this one is definitely illuminates very quick. We got daylight in here plus office light, and the strobe on this just deviates and throws your vision right off immediately. So if it was a late night, you're going to your car, you're concerned about your safety, buy your wife one of these self-defense flashlights, and, you know, buy yourself one as well. And, you know, it's an important aspect. It's an impact tool is really what it is. If the visual deterrent isn't enough, then you can immediately engage it as a defense tool.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to talk about, we do carry other products. I mean, we carry the 590, well, we call it the 599 Fox Karambit. That's the model that I co-designed with Fox. And we also carry the Trainer, what we deem as the BFO for short, but it's actually blunt force object. But we use that as an immediate incapacitative tool for impact, you know, purposes. I mean, it's definitely used for pain compliance. I mean, it's a fantastic tool to use. One of the other things that we carry now is the Riptide from Bladetech. That's a Mike Vellekamp design, and that also uses the Emerson waved feature as well. He worked that out with Ernie Emerson himself. It's a fantastic knife. I love it. It uses the IKBS system. Mike will explain a little bit more about it. I'd rather him just explain it. This is his design. So
sure, Mike, and, you know, tell us what kind of steel you used and what motivated you to create that specific design.
Oh, well, to tell you the truth, it was the fact that I was working at Bladetech and still being a part owner in Fox, and they're like, hey, man, we need a Karambit too. And I said, okay, yeah, let's design a nice Bladetech Karambit. We want it to be a little different. We don't want it to look like a Fox. We want it to look like a Spyderco or anyone else. We wanted to have, or an Emerson. We really wanted to look like the Bladetech Karambit.
Sure.
So kind of went to the drawing board and actually made the prototype before I was able to talk to Ernie, but I tried to get a hold of him, you know, before then. It's, you know, he had some other stuff going on. He's a pretty busy guy to tell you the truth.
Ernie's training defensive tactics. You know,
he's doing all kinds of stuff.
You know,
all
I talked to Ernie at the Blade Show last year. I wasn't back on the air, but definitely Ernie should be one of my guests for.
Oh yeah, if you can get a few minutes with him, he's great to talk to.
He'll make the time. He'll make the time.
Well, he's good. He's real honest, and he's real matter of fact, and I really like talking to Ernie. But yeah, and I talked to him at Blade Show, and I said, "Look, man, I've got this prototype here. We really want to use the wave feature on it." He goes, "Because we want something at least as cool as what we have with Fox for Blade Tech." He goes, "Mike, no problem. Go ahead and put it in the case over there. I don't care. You can show it. We'll work it out." Yeah. And he did. He kept his word. We worked it out. But the Blade Tech Riptide is a little different in the way that it actually has a double curved recurve on it, so it's almost like two very large serrations. And so I wanted to have the tiger claw, the karambit there, and then I also wanted to have that second little ripper in there.
Okay,
so it's kind of a unique style.
Yeah, and of course Tim Wagner is the owner of Blade Tech, or the original owner of Blade Tech. Now it's a corporation. It's grown from his garage.
God, they've grown.
A huge company, and Tim's an amazing person, a good friend. We always bump into each other, and it's like, hey, didn't I take your lunch money back in junior high school? No, I took yours. And, I don't think he ever did give mine, but I might have had him by the ankles once or twice, Anyway, no, Tim's a great guy and a real good personal friend. Let's heads up and big kudos to another close friend of ours, Vince Ford. Vince is on the recovery path. He's on one of his 9 lives. I'm not sure how many cats Vince got.
90.
Yeah, but he's on the recovery from his cancer, and he's working on the Kelly Worden legacy knife. Mike Vellekamp actually did the original prototype for that quite a few years ago, and we've finally got it up and running in production. And Fox Knives will probably be finishing that once the blades get in from who's doing the Larkin.
Yeah, Larkin's doing the blades right now. I don't even know where we're at with it. I got to talk to Vince. He still holds all the cards right now.
Yeah.
And he is looking a lot better and feeling better now too.
Yeah.
So that's good. Right on, Vince. Keep doing whatever you're doing. Cheesecake or throwing pills away, whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
Seems to be working.
That's Concept Knives, right?
Concept Knives. And then we also have the Praesus that we're working on for you too.
Yeah,
I'm just slow on the draw right now because the lad came up to bug me and got a lot of visitors lately.
Oh, no, that's okay. And hey, we were talking about Ken Onion coming out, and then we're going to do a show when Ken gets there. So
hopefully he can. When he gets up here, we're actually going to be at a knife show down in Eugene. I didn't even remember that it was on. I just wasn't thinking that your show's on Saturday. So
yeah, sure.
We might have to
pre-record. We could pre-record. Nobody knows we're not actually here today either.
Yeah, we're not here using our Saturday away from our families in the studio.
Right. That's what we do here. We're here for your entertainment. I hope you appreciate it, boys and girls. Anyway, there's a lot of cool stuff. We got a few more minutes going on, but, Lad, what's coming up in the near future? I introduced you to the Safety Wrench and the Palm Wrench, very low budget, economical self-defense tools. Also, the Impact Karambit's coming. Man, I'd surely like to have your motivation and ideas behind that. Just get that thing out on the market. Everybody could use one of those. At $9.95.
I've got one.
If Lad don't get it to you, you can go to my website at www.kellywarden.com. But I'd like to see the brains and the motivation of Lad get behind some of my impact tools. That'd be cool, man.
No, I definitely want to do that, and I actually want to get Doug to see if he can utilize those tools, because I know he actually expounds on so many different types of weapons and defense tools that he uses, and I'm sure he'd be more than happy to, experiment, toy with it, and see what happens. But I mean, I'm actually blown away at how strong that plastic is.
Yeah.
And what is that? What kind of polymer is that made
of? Well, it is a basic polymer plastic, but there's also a nylon insertion. I think it's nylon 06 or something like that, or 08, So I'm unlike you. I'm just like, whoa, man, it feels strong, hurts bad. I'll take it, that type of thing. But, and pretty much unbreakable. A great story over that. A guy called me up and he goes, I couldn't find my travel wrench. And next thing you know, it was out in the doghouse, and my Rottweiler had been chewing on it for a week, and it didn't even have a dent in it. He goes, that's the best $10 I ever invested in. He goes, I had to leave it in the doghouse, so I want to order another one because the dog just wouldn't give it up. If you got a Rottweiler and he likes the chew toy, he's going to go find it again, even if you take it away from him. So I guess it became his chew toy for good. So, but no, that's a cool thing. And, there's a book and a DVD that go with it, but love to have Doug play with it. Filipino martial arts, they got a system called Dula, meaning double end. and you can strike with either side. And Doug could do some amazing things, I'm sure.
No, and I'd love to be able to watch your DVD. I mean, hey, that'd be something that we'd love to sell on the site. I mean, if we can do that, I'd love to make that happen.
Yeah. Well, I'm not a flash in the pan guy. I'm just really raw, basic.
That's what I look for.
Yeah. Okay.
I like the rawness.
Keeping it real.
Just keep it real. I love that.
I appreciate that. I guess that's kind of what I've made my reputation on. Years ago, a friend of mine said, the beauty about what you do, Kelly, is you've never bastardized the art for a buck. And, that you can't give up integrity. You only have integrity once until you sell it out, and it's hard to regain.
That's one thing I wanted to mention is that I appreciate this so much about Mike and about Gabrielle out in Italy with Fox Knives, Italy and Fox Knives USA. It's just, these guys are really men of their word, and that means so much to me. And, in the industry that I didn't think I'd be exposed to, because, anytime you hear about guns and knives, you're like, oh, got to watch out for those people. That's all lamestream media crap. And I didn't realize that up until 5 years ago. And when I woke up and I saw that for what it was, I said, wow, these people are really hardworking, kind-hearted men and women, and they just want to contribute. This is all they want to do. They want to give back, from what they've learned. And there's nothing wrong with learning self-defense and, self-defense and self-awareness, and knowing your surroundings, and not just being unaware and letting the so-called government take care of everything and so-called protect you when they don't. I mean, we even faced a situation this morning coming out of Mike's, apartment complex where he's at. We're pulling out, and before that, I think I was there like a half hour
Don't
beforehand.
tell people where I live, lad.
No, I won't. I'm not going to tell anybody. But I pull in the parking lot, and I see an altercation, some kind of argument going on. No, nothing physical.
Baseball bat and a hammer. It was going to happen. It was going to happen.
Well, I didn't see that. All I saw was an argument. And when I walked around the corner and came back out, when we left, like 30 minutes later, that's when the cops arrived. And I said, this is what these guys do. I know they got good hearts. I never want to deny the police. But when you see those kind of situations happen and they come after the fact, 30 minutes after the fact, that's when you need immediate action, immediate protection. That's why we're here.
Personal defense, personal protection. KellyWorden.com, www.kellywarden.com. See you next week. This is Kelly Worden on the Edge with Lad Mandiola and Mike Vellekamp. Thanks for listening, man. This was a great show. Really appreciate it. Down the road, brother. Down the road on the Edge. Bye.
Take it easy, Kelly.
Yep.